This is pure chronological snobbery, to use a term coined by, I think, C.S. Lewis. The idea that today is automatically superior to yesterday just because we are farther along in the chronology of events. And therefore, we have to change everything. We talked yesterday about Cracker Barrel and its woke rebrand. And actually, I've heard a number of conservatives say that the rebrand isn't woke, that it's kind of silly to call it woke. It's because it's bad and ugly, but it's not woke. You know, all they did was take all the character and personality and history out of the brand and make it generic and soulless, but that's not woke. They took the old guy off the logo, but they didn't replace him with a gay furry or an indigenous trans bisexual or whatever. So it's not woke, is the, you know, what some conservatives are saying. But that's a misunderstanding of wokeness. You know, wokeness does not have to be overtly political. Wokeness doesn't have to destroy and then replace the thing that it destroyed with a trans person or a gay pride flag. Wokeness is the act of destruction itself. It's the emptying of the thing. It's the hollowing out of something. Making something intentionally uglier that is wokeness. That is 100% wokeness. So this is indeed a woke rebrand of Cracker Barrel. That is, I think, a perfectly valid way of describing it. You have a liberal woman who's never eaten at a Cracker Barrel in her life coming in and getting rid of everything traditional and old and charming about the place. Just for the sake of it. That's wokeness to a T. So yeah, this is a woke rebrand for sure. And Fox has the latest. Cracker Barrel Old Country Store customers have been vocal on social media about their disdain for the recent transformation of the Tennessee-based restaurant chain. Those voices grew even louder after Cracker Barrel unveiled its new logo this week. Cracker Barrel also rolled out a new menu that includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner options, refreshed restaurant remodels. We talked about that. The Cracker Barrel spokesperson told Fox News Digital in a statement, the company is very pleased with the trajectory of our remodeled stores. Feedback from both guests and team members has been overwhelmingly positive and enthusiastic about the refreshed dining and shipping experience. All the elements of our remodel were informed by direct input from our guests and team members like, these changes are for them. So Cracker Barrel is still in denial. The entire country is pointing at them and saying, this sucks, this is terrible. And their reaction is to say, wow, everyone seems to love it. Everyone seems really like this. Meanwhile, I guarantee the majority of people who work at Cracker Barrel, including probably in the corporate office, know this is a terrible idea. That's the thing when you have these marketing people who come in with awful ideas. Most of the rest of the workforce are all saying to each other in the break room, man, this is awful. This is people are not gonna like this. But hey, we need a Cracker Barrel for today, is what we were told. Remember, that's what the CEO said on Good Morning America, that we need a Cracker Barrel for today. Cracker Barrel for today. This is the arrogant attitude, and it is woke. This is the arrogant woke attitude that these people have. It's why everything always has to be updated and remade constantly. Why can't the Cracker Barrel of 30 years ago be the Cracker Barrel of today? We need a Cracker, if you're a Cracker Barrel customer, you want there to be a Cracker Barrel today, but why can't it be the same one that it's been? Why does it have to change?
You may have seen this. Utah and Florida recently banned fluoride in their drinking water. Now ask yourself, why are they doing a massive U-turn on a chemical that's been pumped into our water for 80 years? Maybe it's because they finally realized what we've known all along, that it's authoritarian. The government claims fluoride's for healthy teeth, but that's just nanny state nonsense. You don't need bureaucrats medicating your water. You need the freedom to choose pure water. And that's why my family uses Cove Pure, a countertop water purifier certified to remove up to 99.9% of impurities. That includes fluoride, yes, but also other garbage as well, stuff that I cannot pronounce, PFAS, fertilizer runoff, pharmaceuticals, you name it, all that kind of stuff. First thing I noticed with Cove Pure is the taste. Guys, this is what water is supposed to taste like. Pure, clean, no aftertaste. I actually want to drink more, and it's so easy, no drilling, no plumbers. Just fill it and plug it in, and that's it. The best part is you can choose any temperature, hot or cold, with one tap. Look, if you like fluoride and you want to drink more of it, go ahead. But what I would recommend is using toothpaste, use mouthwash. But look, the government has no business forcing it into your water supply. So don't wait for the government to sort out pure water. Do it yourself. Head to covepure.com/Walsh, and for a limited time, get $200 off.
This is pure chronological snobbery, to use a term coined by, I think, C.S. Lewis. It's the idea that today is automatically superior to yesterday just because we are farther along in the chronology of events. And therefore we have to change everything. Not to improve it or fix it or even innovate or anything, but change it just to change it, just to make it different. I remember last week I saw somebody on X, they were talking about the new Harry Potter series. Apparently there's a new, I think on HBO or something, they have a new Harry Potter series coming out. They're just redoing Harry Potter. They're doing it again. They're doing the whole thing again, from what I understand. And somebody was defending it, saying that, well, kids today, they don't have their own Harry Potter. The Harry Potter films came out 20 years ago. And so they didn't grow up with Harry Potter the way that we did. So we need a new one. The old Harry Potter, that's for millennials. And we need a new Harry Potter. But it's like, hang on, not that I have any attachment to the Harry Potter films, but the movies still exist. It's not like they're being stored in a vault somewhere inside a volcano. The books also exist. They're not out of print. All that stuff is right there. You can find it on Amazon. Why do kids need a new Harry Potter? Why can't they just have the same Harry Potter that we had before? Why do they need their own new version of it? And again, it's not like they change. When we have the constant remodeling and remaking and refreshing going on, they're not doing it. They're not improving on it. And yeah, you can have things that have been around for a while and you need to improve it. You can innovate. There are good changes you can make to things, but that's not what usually happens. They're not improving it. They're not making it better. They're not innovating. They're just making it different. The new Cracker Barrel is not better in any way. It's just different. You walk into a Cracker Barrel now, nothing works. It's not like it works better functionally. It's just different. It's different from what it was before. And that's supposed to automatically be an improvement. Because the attitude is that if it's new, it's automatically better. The fact that Cracker Barrel looked like this 40 years ago means that it is inferior to whatever the new design is. By definition, that's the attitude. And what ends up happening is that, not to make too much of Cracker Barrel, but it's just a Harry Potter, Cracker Barrel. These are just examples. And that's one of the reasons why it's resonated with people, why people are so upset, I think, about the Cracker Barrel thing. If it was just Cracker Barrel on its own doing this, then I think very few people would care. But it's kind of like, it's a tip of an iceberg. It's a symptom of a much larger problem that people are sick of, and that's what people are responding to. What ends up happening is that every new generation is atomized, is isolated. There's no continuity between generations. Nothing gets passed from one to another because every generation has its own version of the thing. A new Harry Potter, a new Cracker Barrel, and a million other examples, of course. Rather than the way that it used to be, which was that each new generation would discover anew the same, like you'd have traditions, you'd have things, you'd have stories, and they would just get passed down from generation to generation. Not change just for the sake of it, but the same thing getting passed down like heirlooms from generation to generation. And now we take the thing and we tear it apart and change it just for the sake of it. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.